Dior goes with other band.
It won't match.
It doesn't have to match.
There's something very modern about the feel of the style of the 60s. To me, it's the coolest era.
We were just harking back to the sort of genesis of spy movies. And clothes seemed fundamental to capturing the quintessential element of that period.
This is one of the few times I actually get to wear a suit.
It was a higher priority, wasn't it? The look was good.
I'm a big fan of, I loved getting into all those dresses. My mum was young during the 60s, and I've gone back and looked at all the amazing outfits that she wore when she was a teenager. And I think up till, this film came along, I always kind of dreamed. I was like wishing that I was part of that age. So coming back here and not only being in the amazing clothes, but actually being them walking the streets of Rome was quite extraordinary.
I play the villain in the film, so I sort of had really extravagant costumes. But I love it. I think it's really sexy and I think what was happening in the 60s with fashion was so unique and experimental, and people were really going crazy with jewelry and accessories and hair and everything. It was sort of the bigger the better, so I loved it.
"绅士要出任务，怎么会少了酷炫跑车呢？哎，来接我了。"
Is there one of them? Does he have just one hand on the steering wheel? When you hear something that sounds like a gunshot, drive.
What's the scariest moment for you to do the stunts and fighting and driving, maybe?
Well, funnily enough, neither of us have our driver's license, but we both drive in the film.
Yeah.
We're completely impractical human beings.
So it wasn't really dangerous for us, it was dangerous for everyone else around us.
I think on this street that the hotel is on, one night I had to drive my little red convertible down the street, and I was so scared because there were extras everywhere. So that was probably my biggest stunt. Also, I was on a sort of like, what do you call it, like a jet boat, and sort of on the sea in Naples. That was kind of scary. We were going very fast, and I was standing up, so that was my big stunt of the movie.
Yeah, and then it's as you can see in the beginning of the trailer, it's quite a big car chase going on, which I lead partly.
Take a right. And then an immediate left. Nicely done.
I was quite nervous because I had to tell them when I got the part that I didn't have a driver's license, playing a car mechanic. But
you told them after.
Yeah, I did. So they actually pulled the wires through the car up to the roof and had a cage on top of the car with a man, like a brilliant stunt driver driving it. So I actually got to sit in the car in front of the wheel and actually, for myself, feel like I was pretending to do all those 180s and full turns, and that was a lot of fun.
Was Henry scared?
Maybe. Yeah, you have to ask him. No, I hope not.
I'm going to bed. Please turn this off.
And the dancing scene is quite hilarious, but was it music on the set?
It wasn't. I kind of sang. I was like humming to myself and just, I don't know. I think I had some music on between the takes, but because of sound, you can't really have it on. So I had to just find it within me, I guess.
And how many takes did you have?
Oh, I don't know. I think I begged for more because I thought it was quite a fun scene to do.
Yeah, the score was a big part of the film. I was just saying earlier, actually, that in a way the score was, I think sometimes in scenes that the score should lead the charge and the film will be subservient to the score. And never more so, I suppose, in many of the scenes that we did here. and it was quite hard for me to convince the composer that it was me that wanted to follow him, not vice versa. So it became an increasingly more important part of the film was the score, and I'm very happy with the score actually.
The guy directed the score. It was a very, very interesting process. I haven't seen it before with a director. We had a wonderful, very talented young composer, Daniel Pemberton. But it was just very interesting to watch Guy direct the score in a very, very specific way in terms of choosing ideas and encouraging, inspiring the composer to give him what he wanted. It was a really amazing process.